Hello friends, and welcome back to this week's tarot deck review. This week we'll be reviewing Mystic Monday's Tarot, a deck for the modern mystic. Now this deck is quite different from I think any other deck that I own, and I'm actually really excited to get right into it. So as you can see on the outside, this box, once again, it is one that has some shiny details on it. It has a holographic detailing on it, which I personally love. And yes. As we open the deck and jump right in, you'll see on the inside, I really like that too. It says trust your intuition, which is key when you are learning to read. You'll start off, you'll have the guidebook here, and unfortunately the guidebook doesn't have any of the detailing, but it does have this really pretty gradient to it to kind of take the place of the holographics that you saw on the outside, and you'll also see that on the front artwork of the card as well. So inside of this guidebook, you're going to have the basics that we see in most places. Just the information for the major and minor arcana is going to be the first that you see, and it does have the upright and the reverse. So it has 2 pages, which is why this one's a little bit thicker. And then it's color coded, which you can kind of see here on the side. So the major arcana is up here at the top, and then you have the minor arcana once you move to the back. And again, you'll have both the upright meaning and the reverse meaning. You have to forgive me. I am recovering from a really horrible flu, and it's not quite gotten out of my body yet. So this booklet is definitely a little bit, while it has a lot more information for each of the card meanings, it doesn't give you any additional spreads or anything like that. But there is obviously social media for this creator, and you can always go there and find a bit more information, single card pulls, different spreads and meanings, and card of the days. So that's a really fun way that you can utilize this deck outside of just pulling cards for yourself or your clients. Now, what I do love on this one is they do have the holographic detailing on the side of the cards, which I think is really pretty. As I've mentioned, I am a sucker for a shiny detail on a card or a journal. So that's one way that you can guarantee I'm going to make a purchase. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into this flip through. So that was our quick flip through of the deck. Now let's go ahead and get into the quality. So this deck is significantly thicker than any of the other ones I think I've reviewed. You can almost see how thick that is there, but I think because they wanted to have this holographic edging, that probably played a factor in the quality of cardstock that they needed to use. It's also a higher gloss than most decks that I have, but that the thickness kind of makes it a little bit more difficult to shuffle. It kind of gets stuck together a little bit more, and doesn't fall quite as nicely. Like I feel like it's a little backwards because you might think that since it's a little heavier, it might be able to like shuffle a little bit better. But for me, and maybe it's just a me problem, but for me, it doesn't shuffle quite as nicely as I would like. And I will say that does sometimes stop me from utilizing this deck. Now, this way, it does shuffle really well and they pop out really well. So when I'm doing a reading, that part isn't quite as difficult. It's more just if I'm trying to do a bridge or anything like that to shuffle the cards together before I actually start looking for the cards to come out for me. Now, if we get into, let me find a couple other cards, not only just blue ones. There we go. All right, so once you get into the actual style of the cards and the artwork of the cards, you can see that they are extremely colorful and vivid, and it's almost an interesting combination of a pip deck along with a traditional deck, because you do still have some of the traditional artistry, or nods to the traditional artistry, but at the same time you also have some that are very much just the the signifiers themselves. Like here on this 10 of cups, you have the 10 cups and you have a little bit of the geometric design work on it, but at the same time you don't see the like full family that you would normally see designed on this card. So there's a very interesting combination of pip cards along with the actual artistry that's happening throughout this deck, and I find that a little intriguing. For some people it might be a little bit more difficult. If you're less familiar with tarot and you're just starting out your journey, this one might be a little bit more difficult for you to read. But at the same time, it does give you a lot of room for interpretation, a lot of room for you to be able to use your intuition and bring your inner world to your readings. So I do like how there's also when there are people depicted, they're more faceless images, so it's not speaking directly to a specific style of person. There's just a lot more room for interpretation when using these cards for a reading. So that is a quick little breakdown and run through of the Mystic Mondays. Mystic Mondays Tarot. There you go. If you like this video, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. If you are interested in this style of content, please make sure to subscribe so that you don't miss our upcoming videos. We release one every week. Don't forget to leave a comment down below if you have a specific deck that you would like to have reviewed, or if you have any additional questions. I would love to get those answers over to you. So make sure to leave those comments for me. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed this once again, and have a great day. Bye.